Cameroon, Guinea-Bissau, Sierra Leone, gotta let me show ya, Nigeria, Bioko Island, Liberia, I wanna know ya, Cameroon, Guinea-Bissau, Sierra Leone, gotta let me show ya, Nigeria, Bioko Island, Liberia, I wanna know ya, let it all hang out. DNA brings the car people out. The artistic, so gifted. African ancestry gets it. Yes, they black owned for the people. In the roots, they will find your sequel. Genetic test in the process, peaceful. Reunite, multiply with your equals. Black scientists, research it. Invest in that time, you're worth it. Experience feels so perfect. Get on the right path to your purpose. No other in the industry like this. Find your link to a tribe, precise kit. The Mende people, Mendenga, Volanta, the house. I wanna know ya, Cameroon, Guinea-Bissau, Sierra Leone, gotta let me show ya, Nigeria, Bioko Island, Liberia. I wanna know ya, Cameroon, Guinea-Bissau, Sierra Leone, gotta let me show ya, Nigeria, Bioko Island, Liberia. I wanna know ya, AfricanAncestry.com. The pioneers in genetic tracing for black people. Since 2003, doing what no other in the industry can do. By tracing your DNA to the present day African country, ethnic group, or tribe. What better time than now to find out where
Hey, how y'all doing? I was trying to be fancy. Hey, everybody, I'm Gina Page. I'm the CEO and co-founder of AfricanAncestry.com. What's up? What's up? What's up? I'm happy to have you here. Hey, Betty, thanks for being here. You're representing Niger. I love it. I love it. Welcome. I see you, Lewis. Welcome. Come on in. Thank you all for being here. I see Kathy's in the house, and I see some of you all are here. You haven't said anything yet, but that's cool. That's cool. I'm glad you're here. And it's Wednesday. You know what we do on Wednesdays. It's African Ancestry Live. Today we were supposed to have a conversation with the CEO of the Black History 365 textbook, but he's not here. So it's just going to be us, and there's nothing wrong with that. We love to keep it in the family. Hey, Avanti. Hey, Drea. Of course, Nola is in the house. Plachette is here, and I'm sure Nakima and Barry are not far behind. Hey, Jose. Jose just sent his kit back. Oh, can't wait. Oh, get your cousins to chip in. That's the way to do it, Jose. So what you can do is you can sell them the results. When you get the results back, tell everybody they got to give you $20, $30, whatever it is to get the answer. And if they have to pay you, then they won't tell. I love it. But yeah, a lot of families pitch in to cover the cost of a test because it only takes one test to get the answer for an entire lineage. And by lineage, I mean one branch of the family tree. That would be your mother's 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 line, for example. Everybody who shares that line shares the same matriclan result. Hey, Charles. Keith knows. Hey, Keith knows. We saw your YouTube video today. Shout out to Keith knows, who told the world on YouTube that they need to take an African ancestry test. In fact, Wendy is holding it down in the back. Wendy, actually, you know what? Maybe I can do it myself. I'm gonna see if I can pull up that clip, Keith knows, because you did it for us. I love it. I love your style. Let's see. I'm going to try and find that. Who else is here? Diallo's in the house. We got Guadalupe in the house. One day I'm going to put my shoes on, my Gloasan V shoes, so you guys can see. And hopefully we'll have her on next month when we're celebrating phenomenal women across the African diaspora. We got a Black woman shoemaker, y'all. And she makes gorgeous, gorgeous shoes. Shout out to Nicole Taylor in the house, Rashida, Ramona, Charlene. Who else we got? Pam's about 4 weeks away from your results. Ooh, Pam, you know what? We've been trending early. We've been getting the results done before the deadline. So you might just have something in your inbox sooner than you think. Avanti's getting her paternal line. Destiny, hey Destiny. I gotta find that Keith Knows video. Okay, let's see. We got Anthony. Yes, Jose, that's the way to do it. Jose says, I could have bought it, but I wanted everybody to feel invested in, here it is. I wanted everyone to feel invested. Michael, friends in the house, what y'all know about African drumming and dancing? Michael, will you put the name of your group in the chat? Mary, I'm coming for you, Mary, with the afro. Iola Williams is here. I'm so happy to see all of you all. Happy Wednesday. It's the last Wednesday of Black History Month. Do you all know what happened on Sunday? Does anybody know what happened on Sunday in the world? There was a major world event on Sunday. Who knows what that event was? I got an African Ancestry t-shirt for the first person can say what the major event was that happened on Sunday. That's right, Soul in Motion African dancers and drummers. You guys need to Google them and learn about them. Amazing group of dancers and drummers here in the DMV. Okay, here's Keith Knows. All right, I'm gonna send this to I'm gonna put this in the chat. Oh no, how do I do that? Hold on. Yikes. I'm gonna text it to myself. Okay. Who else we got? Yes, Charles. What 18th anniversary? What 18th anniversary are you talking about? It was the 18th anniversary of AfricanAncestry.com on Sunday, February 21st. Can you believe that? 18 years of doing this work. And thank you to everyone who came on and wished us a happy anniversary here on Facebook, on Clubhouse. We went on Clubhouse to do it. That was a lot of fun. I really appreciated seeing everybody. You just, when you're in a bubble, it's hard to know who you impact and how. Of course, I know coming on every Wednesday, you guys show us all kinds of love and keep us straight and keep people educated. So I appreciate that. But it was really fun to have you come on Sunday. Yes, Sharice, that's another major event, the anniversary of Malcolm X's assassination. Charles Murphy, you gotta DM me and tell me your shirt size and your mailing address. Okay, A.E. Barlow's here. Woo! Okay, I really want you guys to see this Keith Knows. Let me pull this up. Keith Knows, where did you come from? This dude, he has all kinds of style. All right, let's see. I know how to do this. Oops, no, wait, hold on.
Greetings,
you need to be able to,
cultural warriors.
Oh my goodness, hold on. All right. 1 second, bear with me, y'all. You know how this is a work in progress. So someone sent this to me this morning, this video of Keith, a guy named Keith Knows, who is now my fashion okay, here we go. Icon. All right, now let's see.
Greetings,
Can you guys hear
cultural
this?
warriors. It's that time again to shine the spotlight on small Black business. This week, I want you to reclaim your history with African Ancestry. They assist you with tracing your DNA, your ancestral roots to present-day African country, tribe, the ethnic groups. The key to cultural rediscovery lies in your knowledge. So go ahead, reclaim your history with AfricanAncestry.com. Cultivating a culture of consciousness. It's KeithKnows.net.
Thank you. Okay, I'm here to tell you, is he about it or is he about it? Shout out to Keith Knows. He said,
and I want to talk about briefly is Clarence
he
King,
said,
who was
cultivate
the thought of these.
A culture of consciousness. He said it clearly. He did not stutter. Thank you, Keith Knows, for that shout out. He is smooth, right? And that shirt, I'm like, woo, Keith, are you a stylist? Can you style me? But speaking of shirts, okay, we got to take this down so you guys can see my shirt. You all know that we have a promotion going on right now. We actually have 2 offers going on right now. The first offer is buy 1 African Ancestry test kit, get the second one for 20% off. So for those of you who have been thinking about getting a kit or have a friend who wants to get a kit, you guys want to go in together, you can get 2 kits at a reduced price. So I want you to check that out. You go to the website and you have to put in the code BOGO20, BOGO20, but you see it on the website. But the other promotion is buy a test kit, get a free t-shirt. And so we have these t-shirts made of the blood, the culture, and the land. And this was designed by our very own Ty Brooks. We got the African Ancestry on the shoulder. So if you get a t-shirt, got till Sunday. If you get a t-shirt for the remainder of the month, if you get a kit, you get a free t-shirt. If you already have a kit and you just want to rock the tee, you can buy the tee separately. So check out our Black History Month specials. They're through February 28th. After that, it's back to full price and full value. Let's see. Yes, Avanti said yes. All right, Keith. Yes, we love Keith Knows. Keith Knows. You're our new best friend, Keith Knows. Let's see. What else did I want to tell you all about? I told you about the promotion. I told you that. Thank you, Valerie. You can get the t-shirt at AfricanAncestry.com. I told you about next month. So after we wrap up Black History Month, we're going to be moving into March. And you all know that March is Women's History Month. And so we're going to be celebrating phenomenal Black women across the African diaspora. Phenomenal women across the African diaspora. And so I'm excited about that. You know, every month as part of our Remember Who You Are campaign, we celebrate a person, a place, and a space. So you remember in January, we celebrated the ancestry, the roots of Celia Cruz. Cuba was our focus there. Our space was Rumba music. This month, the people, the person, the people, the place, and the space are all African ancestry, and all of you, everybody who has contributed to 18 months together. 18 years together. We make Black history every day. Every day that a Black person learns their roots in Africa, that's making Black history. Wendy, can you please put the link to the t-shirt in the chat so people will see it? Thank you so much. So I'm looking forward to March. We have some really exciting ancestries to share with you all and some new information. You know, we celebrate Black History Month. You can't learn everything about Black history during Black History Month. And so we keep it going every day of the year. And next month is no different. Tony wants to know where his Fulani family is. Throw up your Niger flags or your Guinea-Bissau flag or your Cameroon flag or your Senegalese flag if you have Fulani roots, and celebrate with your cousin Tony. I guess the other thing I wanted to talk to you all about was this panel that I was on last night. This month is you know, I don't know what they call it. But this month they're celebrating Women Go Red. Women Go Red is an initiative of the American Heart Association. And so last night I was honored to sit on a panel with the president of Jack and Jill of America. I was also Reverend Dr. Alexander G. Jr., who you guys have seen me talk with, at least on IG. He is the host of a podcast called Black Like Me. And then Jasmine Johnson, who is the Milwaukee, Wisconsin representative of the Women Go Red, or leader of the Women Go Red campaign. And it got me to thinking about, they asked me if I knew my family health history. And I have a pretty decent idea of my family health history. Certainly, I have both my parents, so I can brush up on that information. But I was wondering how many of you all have even thought about your family health history. Have you been tracking it? Do you know what it is? Do you have it available for when you go to the doctor? I just want to get a sense for what you guys know. Shout out to King Joseph checking in from Los Angeles. Hope you're doing well today. Let me know what your thoughts are on your family health history. It's quite like your family tree history. We might explore our grandparents, where they lived, when they were born, when they died, but do we know what they died of? Do we know what kinds of health challenges they had? In some families, this is taboo information, and so I really want to know what you guys think about that. Let's see. Betty says, I have. John Henry says he purchased the Matriclan and Patriclan tests and then purchased flags for each African country. Shout out to Michael Friend for buying his t-shirt. You got to get one for Jody, Michael. Can't leave Jody out. I got to hold it down for my good friend Jody. My friend Jody Friend. Yep, that's her name. You guys are crickets on the family health history. Does this mean that you haven't thought about it, that you do know it, that you don't know it? Would you like a tool? If we gave you a tool for tracking your family health history, would that be something that you'd be interested in? Talk to me, people. Talk to me. Let me know what you're thinking. Mary says she knows most of her family health history. Okay, here we go. AE tracks that information as a genealogist. Charles said he discovered heart challenges in his father's family, which made him focus on heart health. Very nice, very nice. Betty knows it. Good. I'm glad you guys know this. All right. Victoria says, I know most of my family health history, which has been very helpful. Avanti said I would. I think we're going to work on that. We're going to come up with a tool, and I'm sure there's one that already exists that we can share with, that maybe we can share with people if it's not one that we make up ourselves. But I think that's really important. And so I'm going to commit to sharing that with you guys. Here you go, Wendy. I just put something in there for you. Steady Rock says, grateful for having both parents who have transitioned, and I'm familiar with my parents' health history. Very good. So knowing your parents' health history is good. Knowing your grandparents' health history is even better. So for those of you who at least know your parents, I'm going to encourage you to go back another generation and see what you can learn about your grandparents, because we are, that's part of who we are as well. Jose said, we know ours. Yeah, Michael Friend have thought about it, would be very interested in the health history for sure. Diabetes, cholesterol, high blood pressure. Yes. Okay, good. This is good. Thank you for the feedback, y'all. Thank you for the feedback. I think it's time for us to help to start to contribute to people having conversations about our history, our health history, because that is an integral part. It's imperative. It is an ancestral imperative to know where in Africa you come from, but we can't stop there. We have to continue to learn about ourselves on this side of the Atlantic as well. Okay, so do you guys have any questions for me? This is a quick live tonight because, like I said, our guest didn't show up. But if you all have any questions for me in the next few minutes, I'd be happy to answer them for you. Lisa says, I know mine, but a holistic doctor told her that disease is not hereditary, but kitchenary. That's interesting. In that we eat, what did she say? In that we eat what we were given to eat as children. Okay. Yes, Valerie. Valerie says her daughter is adopted and really needs to know her genetic health. Yeah. We have we have a friend, a colleague, an ambassador, a part of the team, Wendy, who comes on often, and she talks about that as being one who's adopted and the importance of getting to that information. Luckily, she was able to do that. Great, Trevera. You're better late than never, and you're not late. You got here right on time. We were talking about a health history, and then, of course, Barry Payton's in the house. Oh, wow. Shout out to Jane Bronner, who says both of her parents are 92 and still alive and in great health. What tests would I? So that was the shout out for your parents and their longevity and health. But your question is, what tests would I recommend for you to order for them and why? I'm new to the page. Well, welcome, Jane. Welcome. You're right on time. And Jacqueline Turner, welcome. Your first time here. I love it. I'm glad to have you all here. So African Ancestry offers 2 tests. One test traces maternal ancestry, which is through the mother's line. And I'll answer that for you, Michael, as well. When you trace the mother's line, both your mother and your father can take that test. The result will be you'll know the ancestry of each grandmother. Okay, and those results are going to be the same for everybody in the family who comes from that grandmother or even who comes from her mother. So when you trace the maternal test, people often do that one for a few reasons. One, we don't sell or share our customers' genetic information, so we destroy all the DNA. That's just our policy across the board. So your DNA is safe. 2, both men and women can take this test. And then 3, there's a 92% chance that the result will be African. So to be clear to our new cousins, African Ancestry cannot guarantee that we will find an African result for your test. Because we're tracing only one branch of the tree, we don't know what we're going to find because we're all a mix of different ancestries. But when we trace the maternal line, 92 out of 100 people get an African result. And so if you're taking this test, not because you're just interested in your ancestry, but you want to know where in Africa you're from, that's your goal, then you have the best chance of getting an African result if you take the maternal test. So Jane, I would recommend the maternal test for each parent. Now, we also have a test that traces paternal ancestry. That is father to father to father to father. You have to be a man to take this test. And so that's a test that your father could take, Jane, and then that would give you the ancestry of that paternal line. However, only men can take that test, and that test comes back African only 65 out of 100 people. So there's a 35% chance that that result will not be African. And we don't have any control over that. And so, again, if you're invested in getting an African answer, the best chance you have is on a maternal test. I hope that is helpful. Dina just ordered her Match Clan test. Did you get a t-shirt, Dina? Did you put in the code free T to get your t-shirt? I want to know. I want to know you. Ramona says you can try using a genogram. Oh, we'll have to look that up. We don't have these in V-necks, Jody. I'm sorry, but you could hook up with Keith Knows. I bet you Keith Knows could trick out a t-shirt because that brother is bad. He's got great style. Pam wants to know, is it possible to trace living relatives in Africa? It is not possible through our test, Pam, because the DNA that we have in our database that we use to determine your roots was collected anonymously. So we don't have people's names. We don't have their emails. We cannot say that give you the name of the person whose DNA matches yours. When we compiled our database over 30 years ago, that just was not the way it was done. But as companies grow and as databases grow, our hope is that one day in the near future, we'll be able to get that specific to give you that level of information. But certainly knowing the people and the place is very powerful, even if we can't give you the person's name. Monique said, I'm mad late. Monique, it's so good to see you. Shout out to Monique Brewer, who is the African Ancestry resident trivia expert. We had to stop our trivia questions because Monique was winning all the prizes. And Monique, didn't you do a TEDx talk? Or was it just like a TEDx talk? I don't know, but she's a great orator. Yes, Dina got the t-shirt. Okay, that's great. Let me see. Are there any more questions before we roll out? For the masks and shirts, will we be adding Mozambique in the future? You know, Charles, let me see what we could do about that. You were the winner of the contest, right? Of the question. Let me see. I don't know about Mozambique masks. So we do bulk orders of those masks. So I will remember to do a Mozambique email. That way we can see how many Mozambique people would like a mask. But the t-shirt would be easier to work out. Let me see what I can do. Liz Cross says, hi, it's great to see you tonight. Thank you so much. Which test usually takes your time, more time to complete the analysis, and why? The matriclans generally take longer than the patriclans. And to be honest, I don't know why, Liz. But we are trending on having both test results done in approximately 8 weeks or sooner. Right now, we're closer to 6 weeks, but y'all didn't hear that from me. So, yeah, I don't know why it takes the matriclan test a little bit longer. Mary wants to know, Mary Bernie Bowling wants to know, are there changes with how kits are being processed? Her brother has been waiting for results over 3 months. Also, there was a mislocation of his first kit. Well, that's interesting. So I do know, it depends on when you purchase the kit, Mary. So we do have a new process that is completely digital and cloud-based. So when you purchase a test kit, you go in, you you activate your kit online, you enter all the relevant information, and then you send your swabs directly to the lab, and they are in an envelope that has a tracking number. Once you send your swabs to the lab or you send them back to us, we don't have any control over the postal system. And unfortunately, since Corona, and particularly since the holidays, the postal system has been in just a huge mess. In fact, I had to call a friend yesterday and let her know that I got their Christmas card yesterday. So if your kit was mislocated, that is probably because of the mail. We don't lose kits internally. But if you send me a DM, Mary, we would need the kit ID number to track the status of your brother's test, and then we can send him an email. So just make sure you give me the kit ID number, and I'm happy to help you. The turnaround time for the analysis is 6 to 8 weeks. I mean, did I say 6 to 8 weeks? They'll kill me. 8 to 10 weeks, but it's really like 6 to 8 weeks right now. A.E. Barlow wants to know, will we consider adding health ancestry testing similar to what 23andMe and Ancestry are doing? Yeah, I think that is a great thing, a great addition. You know, Ancestry just closed down their ancestry health component, so it's not as easy as it looks. It's a very expensive endeavor, and it requires us to look at a lot more of your DNA. And analyze a lot more of your DNA. So I would love to see that in our future. Thank you, AE. Let's see. Get a few more questions in here before we go. Yes, Monique did. I'm just going to say you did a TEDx talk at NASA, Monique. I think that sounds good. Oh, I wanted to tell you all about Sierra Leone. Okay. I know, Lisa, we do need to do a happy hour Zoom. I got to put Ty on that. Or maybe Wendy. Somebody else. Somebody's better at that than me. I'm not good at that. Ramona wants to know. Oh, okay. So Ramona, we go live on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, and Thursdays on Instagram, Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern. Jane wants to know, when I purchase the kits for my parents, will I have to take the test also? Or will the results be good for my legacy, my kids, and now my grandkids? Absolutely. Only one person has to take the test, Jane. So if your mother takes it, then you don't have to take it. So you can decide who takes it, either you or her. The results will be the same. And it'll be the same for everybody who is one of her descendants, one of her sisters and brothers' descendants. It's the same for everybody on that line. Dina wants to know, would I suggest that after taking the test, you send the swabs back via FedEx? Dina, I'm going to say, if you want to, I'm going to say this. We've had more reliable service from FedEx than we have had from the Postal Service. But your kit does have a tracking number, and I don't want to disparage the service, the Postal Service. It's totally up to you. But most likely it'll get there faster if you use FedEx. Even if you use Express Saver, you don't have to necessarily use overnight. Let's see, what else y'all got? Oh, Valerie. What was Valerie's? Hey, Wendy, can you look for Valerie's earlier post and put it up if you don't mind, so we can help her. Natalie wants to know, the DNA is destroyed after it's tested. Okay, Natalie, 1 second. Let me get to Valerie's question. Through my great-great-grandfather's Civil War pensions, I found his slave owner. I also just found that the slave owner's descendant and I share DNA. He's my 4th, 6th cousin. It has freaked me out. Bittersweet information. Not sure how to feel. Well, Valerie, everybody on this Zoom, or we're not on Zoom, everybody on this broadcast, unless they are born of African parents, everybody has some European ancestry. That's just a function of us coming through the period of slavery in the Americas. So you just happen to be one of us who's able to identify the name and the descendants of those who enslaved your family members. So I think it would be natural to have a range of emotions that are not so positive. It's an unfortunate part of our history, the way it occurred, which could make you feel frustrated, could make you feel angry, all along the gamut of those emotions. But it's also a part of who we are. And so, you have the information. As I say repeatedly, identity is a constantly evolving narrative of self. And so you get to be whoever you want to be. And you can embrace that ancestry or choose not to embrace it. Does it really impact how you live your life? Do you think it will impact how you live your life going forward? If not, it's not something that you have to choose to use. And so I would just sit with that feeling and then let it, not to intentionally quote Peabo Bryson, but let it flow. Just let it flow through you, and then allocate it where it needs to go. And anybody else who has some feedback for her, please be sure to share in the comments. Natalie wants to know, the DNA is destroyed. Yes. Is the data also destroyed? The only data that we keep is the data that we send you in your results letter. So if it's a maternal test, it's some of your mitochondrial DNA mutations, and it can be for most people, it can be anywhere from maybe 15 to 30 mutations. And for the Y chromosome, we give you 8 markers and the gap. So the DNA data that we keep, we only keep in case you lose your results. And it's not informative for anything other than ancestry. But if you ask us to delete your information from the database, we are happy to do that. Let's see. Oh, and then there was another part of that. Are we matched with family members like longtime cousins? African Ancestry does not do family matching. So if that's something that you're interested in, then we are not the test for you. But if you're interested in knowing the present day African country and people, ethnic group or tribe that you share ancestry with, then we definitely are the place for you. What is the turnaround for test delivery to me? Need one by 3/5. Yeah, that should be okay. But if I were you, Monique, I would use priority mail, just to be sure. But today's the 20, what's today? The 24th. So the 25th, that gives you a little over a week. So I would choose priority mail or FedEx, but I'd go with priority mail. You're welcome, Rika. Thank you for taking the test. We got Sequoia in the house. Shout out to Sequoia Allen. How are you doing in Texas? Valerie, the other thing I would do is I would go into the online community. If you are not a member yet of the online community over on Facebook, it's the African Ancestry online community. Go in there because you can get a lot of support in there. Everybody in there probably has had, or I'll say 40% of the people in there have had a similar feeling as you. And so you have a whole network of people to work with. Rika wants to know. Okay, Rika, can you send me can you DM me your kit ID number so we can make sure you can get into travel.africanancestry.com. That is where we have information about African ancestry family reunions, and we have one for Sierra Leone coming up on April 23rd. April 23rd to April 30th, we're going to Sierra Leone, and anybody who comes with us who is a primary test taker, meaning you were the one who got the actual Sierra Leone result, you can get citizenship from the country of Sierra Leone. We are not involved in Roots Tech. Thank you so much. We don't go to that. There was a question from Philip. Okay. Oh, yes. Shout out to Philip McCowan. Yes, he was the plug. He connected us. Philip is a family member, and he connected us to Selah Marley, who took the Matriclan test, which means we were then able to share the maternal ancestry with her mother, Lauren Hill. And I'm glad to know that she was happy with the results. Thank you again, Philip, for that hookup. And if anybody else out there is connected to someone who you think would be exciting to know their ancestry, let us know, because we'd love to test them. Sean wants to know if you purchased the test. If he purchased a test for his brother, will he need to register the account, or can Sean register it for him? Yes. Or Sean, I'm sorry, you might be a woman. I can't see your picture. I'm really sorry if you're. See, this is why they use the pronouns they. That way you don't mess up. You don't make these mistakes. You can activate a kit for someone else. By doing so, we're assuming that they are giving you permission to activate the kit. So yes, you can do that for your brother. And actually, Sean is probably a woman asking about her brother. So I apologize, Sean, for that. Rika, please DM me your kit ID number so we can get that on. Okay. What do Tammy Isaac just saw your question and then it went away. I'm gonna find your question, Tammy Isaac. Yep, Ramona, Sierra Leone just announced new guidelines for citizenship. And if you are looking for citizenship based on a DNA test, you have to have used a test that gave you either your maternal ancestry or your paternal ancestry, and African Ancestry has to authenticate your results. So there'll be more to come about that. Oh, okay, Tammy's question wasn't for me. Great. Let's see. What's the best way to take your sample? Is it better to swab after you wake up? So you have to wait 3 hours after having caffeine, nicotine, alcohol, toothpaste, mouthwash, or there's one other thing. Caffeine, toothpaste, mouthwash, nicotine, alcohol. That's it. And so what makes it most convenient for most people is if they take the test in the morning before they brush their teeth. They just rinse their mouth out with some water and then follow the directions to do the swabbing. And then you can brush your teeth and go on with your day. That way you don't have to worry about when's the last time I had a cup of coffee, when's the last time I had a Coke or an energy drink, when's the last time I took some cough medicine. You don't have to worry about all that. Just do it when you wake up. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to tell you, Charles. I was going to talk about the African Ancestry Family Reunion to Sierra Leone, and there's now a process where if you are using an African Ancestry test as your basis for citizenship, you must have an authenticated certificate. So the certificate that we sent you in the mail or that we sent you by email is not authenticated. We have a new process to authenticate, and citizenship will only be granted to the test taker. So if you're going, Charles, with one of your sisters or brothers, then they will not be able to get citizenship because they will not have an authenticated certificate because they did not take the test. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, so check out travel.africanancestry.com to get more information. Lisa, yes, this will be my first trip anywhere since the pandemic started. Going to Sierra Leone will be my first trip, my first time in Sierra Leone, and my first time on a plane. And I have to say, I've been talking to a lot of friends who've traveled because I'm trying to feel good about that decision. Okay, let's see. All right, Yasmin, great question. If we have, for example, 128 sixth great grandparents, how do you narrow down tribes? We're not looking at all 128 of your great grandparents. We're looking at one lineage. So we'd be looking at the sixth great grandparent that was your mother's 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 mother. We'd be looking at that lineage. We're not looking at the other 127 lineages. And so that's how we're able to narrow down to a tribe, because we're comparing it to the DNA from people living in 40 countries and representing 400 ethnic groups or tribes. So that's how that works. We're not like the other companies. They look across all 128. We're only looking at one lineage. And we look at that one lineage because that DNA has not changed across all of those generations. It has not mixed with all of the other people from other branches of the tree. Your mitochondrial DNA does not mix. And if you're a man, your Y chromosome does not mix. I hope that's helpful. Oh, Sequoia, I'm glad you and your family are okay. You were out of water for 5 days. We know you've had some great military training, though, so I know you guys figured it out and soldiered through. I'm glad that you're well, and I'm glad that you're able to join us. Sierra Leone is the only country so far, Jose, that has given ancestry to the masses, if you will, based on their DNA results. There have been some countries that have given citizenship to people who've taken our test that are connected, but in general, Sierra Leone is the first one. Yes, you will still be a citizen of these United States if you get citizenship with Sierra Leone. You will definitely, it's dual citizenship. I'm ready to go to Nigeria too. I hope we get there. Yeah, Michael, you're good. It doesn't matter when you got your results. if you were the first customer, like Anita Bird, and got Sierra Leone, you can still go. It's just you have to be the test taker for us to authenticate your results. That's all. And actually, that raises a question, and we're going to talk about this in another show, and we're going to be talking about it in the online community, which is really where it's relevant, because you have to be part of the family to be able to go on a trip anyway. But we've been working with them to explore, what do we do about women whose paternal lineages are Sierra Leone? Women couldn't take the test to get that answer. And so you will be able to work that out for people who come on an African ancestry family reunion. But if you go on your own, or if you go with another tour operator, then you won't be able to get an authenticated certificate. Can you travel with your group if you're out of a country that hasn't been traveled to? I think I understand your question, Juanita. You can come on any African ancestry family reunion as long as you have taken our test. Corlette, you cannot get an authenticated certificate for family members. You can get a personalized certificate for family members, but not the authenticated one for citizenship. The authenticated one for citizenship is only for the test taker. It doesn't matter if you, someone's asking, Afrofuturist Ecology says, is it better for us to get our grandmothers to do the test to go back further? No, it doesn't matter. As long as it doesn't matter whether the youngest person on the line takes the test or the oldest person on the line. It doesn't matter. The result's going to be the same. So you don't have to worry about that. Marlon and his fiance are waiting on their results. All right. What else we got? I'm gonna get Sankofa Beauty. I'm lobbying hard for women who got the paternal results through their father, because that's just flat out not fair. And we are going to be able to negotiate that within an African ancestry family reunion, but we cannot negotiate that for people who choose to go with other folks. Joseph wants to know, what's the process for getting an African ancestry authenticated certificate? Joseph, that information will be on travel.africanancestry.com in the Sierra Leone section. Okay, so if you go to the Sierra Leone page, that information will be up by Friday. It's not up there right now. All right, I think I got through all the questions. Woo! All right. I love y'all. This is so good. Even when I'm nervous about the fact that our guest left us hanging, we don't need no guests. We can talk. Next week, we have Coach P coming back. If you all remember Coach P from the MASH Collective, someone called her African Ancestry's Deepak Chopra in a complimentary way. So she's going to come on for Women's History Month to kick us off and talk about mindset. She's about making amazing happen. You can the can be whatever you want it to be, success stuff, sugar, honey, iced tea, whatever it is. So I'm excited about Coach P making her quarterly appearance here on African Ancestry Live on Facebook and on YouTube. And remember, we got the promotion going through the end of the week, so you can eke out your Black History celebrations. And if you've already got a kit, if you've already got a t-shirt, if you already have a mask, do you have an identity box? Do you have a Remember Who You Are study guide? We put a lot of hours and design work into the Remember Who You Are study guide. I'll show that next week. I didn't bring it with me today, but it's a great tool to explore little known African history, or history of African people, history across the diaspora, history that goes back 1,000 years into today, and encourages you to think and reflect and to test your friends and test your own knowledge. Do you know where all 55 countries are of Africa are on the map? Things like that. So I encourage you to, there are other ways to celebrate Black history. And we have the identity box, we have the study guide, we have our new t-shirts, all of that. You all know how I feel about you. I'm very glad to be here. Oh yeah, you're right. I should be saying press the like button. Thank you, Family Ties. I gotta start doing that. Like us, share the video so that more people can get their questions answered. I really appreciate you all. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much, Sean. And I want to shout out Wendy Cherry. Thank you, Wendy, for holding it down in the background. You all have seen me stumble and fumble through these things, but Wendy's keeping me in line. So I really, truly appreciate you being here with me tonight, Wendy. As I always say, the pandemic is not over. Please continue to social distance. Please get the vaccine if that's if that's what will make you feel comfortable. And don't forget, if you go look in YouTube or look in Facebook, we have the episode where Dr. Jabril Johnson came on and answered all of our questions about COVID. So continue to support your mental health and that of those you love. Continue to support your immune system. And until we meet again, may you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be whole. Have a very good night.